The story starts with a huge mansion where young girls are being auctioned off to rich old men for exorbitant prices. Every single one of these walking coffins are certified creeps who deserve nothing more than death. But unfortunately, in this cold, cruel world, only money matters. A young girl with black hair starts crying at her fate, unable to understand why God would send to her such a cruel world, but a beautiful silver-haired girl named Daya calms her down, telling her that she needs to look beautiful and must not cry. With that, Daya is called out to the stage to be presented, and she happily moves off humming to herself. She is introduced at the special product of the evening with bids starting at $10 million. Almost every single person at the auction starts bidding on Daya, as they all want a silver-haired girl in their home. But Daya simply smiles and uses her magic to first create a key to her handcuffs, and immediately after, she creates a rifle with her magic and starts firing at everyone in the hall. Chaos erupts as people start running away while guards start scrambling to try and subdue the girl. Back in the dressing room, girls are confused at the sudden commotion, but before the guard could act, one of the girls named Tart, who was pretending to be a maid, breaks a bottle on his head, knocking him out. She turns around and spots two more guards standing in the doorway who immediately draw out their knives. Tart decides to take matters more seriously and draws out a spear from her ass and starts styling on the two goons, easily dodging their attacks and defeating them, and gets the keys. She throws the keys over to the other girls and tells them to run away while she quickly moves towards the main hall. Daya keeps shooting anyone and everyone she can when she suddenly spots the chief pimp lady who organized the auction and kidnapped all the girls after destroying their village. She quickly tries to take a shot at her, but gets interrupted by a sword strike which she barely manages to block with her rifle, but is thrown to the ground. She realizes that this guard has magical powers as well, but before he could attack again, Tart reappears and keeps him at bay with her spear. But as more guards start arriving, she quickly pushes him back and grabs her revolver before blasting them all one by one. Both Daya and Tart quickly get together on the stage ready with their weapons, but the guards are too many in number for just the two of them to deal with. Daya decides that she needs to use a large-scale magic attack if they are to leave this place alive, so she tells Tart to fend the enemies off. While she starts chanting the spell, Tart pretends to be back in an American high school and starts blasting down the enemies, while Daya focuses on her magic spell and soon enough manages to blast through the walls of the mansion, giving them an escape route. Right outside the mansion, near the edge of the forest, Lug, a master assassin, aims with his sniper rifle, noticing all the carnage unfold as he realizes that their guess was correct, and the mistress of the mansion is the culprit who has been attacking villages, burning them down and carrying away any beautiful girl they can get their hands on. He decides that he has enough evidence and is ready to execute the target, and with that, he uses his magic eye which enables wall hack, and with that, he manages to track the mistress of the mansion down, who runs from one room to the other, trying to escape her fate, not knowing that her future has already been sealed. With that, Lug pulls the trigger, no-scoping her with a clean headshot. This takes him back to his previous life when he was a master assassin on Earth working with his underling, where they were tasked to destroy a bunch of drug dealers. His accuracy is unmatched as he shoots down the goons one after the other, even if they try to hide behind cars. But after assassinating 6 men, he packs up and starts moving back. His trainee tells him that they can finish off the remaining mafia members as well. But Lug replies that he was only ordered to kill 6 men, so his job is done. The girl tries to talk back, but Lug tells the wench to shut up and explains that the organization only wants to replace the top members of the mafia right now, and they are not supposed to do anything that they are not commanded to. With that, the girl shuts up and gets into the car, but suddenly Lug notices an unmanned drone roaming around in the sky. With that, his heart rate quickens as he jumps into the car and takes off, telling the girl to get her weapons ready as they are going to get hunted down soon. Just as he expected, a huge convoy of soldiers give chase in Humvees and open fire at the fleeing car, immediately destroying it as it goes up in flames, but unbeknownst to them, Lug managed to escape by jumping out of the moving vehicle at the last moment, faking their deaths. Lug patches the girl's injured leg up and tells her to get rest as they should start moving at the break of dawn. While trying to get some rest, the girl starts asking Lug about why he became an assassin in the first place. Lug replies that he was born into the organization itself, and they raised him to be the greatest assassin in the world. They end up disagreeing about veganism or some shit, so Lug decides to show her a woman's right place in the kitchen as he points a gun at her head. The girl is shocked, as even though she is the top assassin of her class, this old man managed to point a gun at her. And not only that, Lug managed to grab her own pistol before pointing it at her. Lug told her that he managed to slip the pistol away from her because she trusted him, which is a very big flaw since Lug might as well have been ordered to kill her later to leave no evidence. After outclassing her completely, Lug finally takes the pistol off her head and puts it back in her pocket before laying down to get some sleep. The girl stands there shocked before taking the gun out of her holster and pointing it back at him. Lug tells her to simply get some sleep, but the girl threatens to shoot him for real. Lug simply stands up and shows that he has already taken out all the bullets from her gun, once again outclassing her, while she stands there shocked, envisioning a future making sandwiches now. Later that morning, they finally manage to reach back to their safe house, where he calls the organization, who congratulates him on his final mission and wish him a happy retirement, ordering him to come back to Japan immediately. He takes out 2 fake passports and some flight ticket with which they board the plane successfully. While on his seat, he thinks about what he will do with his life now, when suddenly the plane shakes violently and the news breaks that the plane has been hijacked. Lug finds it a little odd, so he immediately rushes towards the cockpit, knocking out the air hostess, and opens the door only to find both the pilots dead and the controls all broken. He realizes that the organization must be disposing him off completely to tie up any loose ends. He smiles at his own fate and tries to maneuver the airplane, but the organization is not taking any chances and sends a fighter jet after them, blasting them out of the sky, while Lug takes his final breath on Earth. He feels betrayed as he dies when suddenly he is woken up in a different realm in front of a white-haired baddie who laughs at him for trusting the organization after lecturing his underling about how to trust no one. He doesn't understand why this shoddy is playing with him, so he asks what she wants. The goddess tells him that she is responsible for the dead, and he has 2 options right now. One would be getting reincarnated back on Earth as a new man with no memories whatsoever, or he can choose to get reincarnated in a fantasy world with all his memories intact if he promises to do a job for her. Lug decides that he has had enough of Earth and its vegans, so he chooses the fantasy world and asks what he is supposed to do. The baddie smiles and tells him that he needs to assassinate the hero who is going to be born in the world. Lug is a little shocked to hear that, so the goddess tells him to chill out and offers him some tea. She asks why does he want to choose the fantasy world, and he replies that on Earth he was born for only one purpose, which was being an assassin. He was told to keep his thoughts and feelings aside and focus on killing, but at the very end, when he was about to die, he had regrets and frustration about not living a life that he actually wanted. He asks what kind of hero he is tasked to kill, so the goddess decides to transfer all the info about this new world directly in his brain. In an instant, Lug now knows all about this new fantasy world where people seem to have a lot of different magical and physical skills, which would be considered supernatural on Earth. Amongst them, the hero is actually going to have an incredibly strong legendary set of skills, which is going to make him a real thorn in the ass to kill. But Lug realizes that as far as now, the hero is pretty great, and seems to be doing good things. He asks why she wants to kill the hero, and the baddie replies that the hero will keep getting stronger and stronger until one day he will have a final showdown with the Demon King. In that fight, the Demon King will be defeated and the hero will reign supreme. But after a year or 2, the hero's strength would start going to his head, and he will become as ruthless as the Demon King himself, which will bring the end of this world. She wants him to prevent that from ever happening. Lug decides to accept this mission, but asks to be given a good set of skills so his job becomes a little easier. The goddess agrees and gives him the best stats that a human can have alongside 5 special skills instead of 1. She lets him choose his skills, and after he is done, she tells him to be careful, as even though he is above other humans in this world who only have 1 skill, the hero is still much stronger as he has over 30 skills. Lug promises to be careful, and with that, he is sent off to another world where he takes birth in an aristocratic family of noble assassins, with a beautiful mother named Esri and a master assassin father named Cyan. A couple of years pass by and Lug grows up to be a capable young boy, going out on hunts every single morning, where he has learnt the best ways to hunt down game is to kill it with a headshot before the prey even gets to know that it's being hunted. That way the flavor of the meat is best preserved. He successfully brings back another rabbit to the table and cleans it before deciding to try something new with it. His mom complains about the fact that she doesn't get to cook enough food for him. but he tells the wench to shut up as he is going to whip something up which even Gordon Ramsay would love. He starts slicing out the rabbit into small pieces while he thinks about all the nutrients that he is going to get from the food. Just like a gym rat, he thinks about using rabbit meat as the main source of protein since it's low in fat, but because of its gaminess, it's not very tasty. To mend that, he adds a bunch of herbs and dried mushrooms before putting it inside a pressure cooker. While that is cooking, he starts working on the bechamel sauce, which he learnt while pretending to be a MasterChef contender in order to get closer to his target, which was probably that bald idiot judge who knows nothing about food. He finally adds his cream sauce back in the stew and serves it to his family, who all love the dish, and his mother even pushes him to sell it in restaurants to make money. What a gold-digging thought. Later that evening, Lug's father tells him to come to the training room for his routine check, so he follows the order. Every single week, just like my uncle when he's drunk, Cyan checks Lug's body to make sure his bones, muscles, and joints are strong and growing properly. It turns out that Lug's family are also the royal doctors of the kingdom, but behind the curtains they use their status as doctors to get close to their target and assassinate them. His father is a very strict teacher and teaches him all the different healing and assassination techniques while working on his stealth, strength, hand-to-hand combat, and skill with weapons. This is very convenient for Lug, as this way he doesn't have to hide while training to kill the hero one day. After checking his body, he tells Lug to dress up again, complimenting on his recovery, and finally tells him that he might be ready for the surgery. This really excites Lug, as it turns out that his family has another secret up their sleeves. Lug's father and forefathers all underwent a special surgery which modifies their eyes into a very special weapon, as after the surgery, they are able to see mana, get better low-light vision, and are able to see things happening clearly several hundred meters away. Lug was waiting for this moment to arrive and immediately agrees to the surgery. After the surgery, he is forced to wear a blindfold for a couple of days, but when he finally gets to remove his blindfold, he gets to see the world like he has never seen before. He turns towards his dad and notices that not only can he see the flow of mana in his father's body, he can see the mana brewing out of his own body as well. His father tells him that they have also found a teacher finally who can teach him magic, and this really makes Lug happy, as ever since he came to this world, he always wanted to learn magic. Finally, the day comes when he gets to meet his magic teacher, and for some reason, his mother decides to dress him up as a cross-dressing femboy. Regardless of that, him and his family get ready to greet his teacher, who he expected to be an old man, with his name on Epstein's list. But since he is in an anime, of course he gets a beautiful silver-haired girl named Daya as his teacher. Lug doesn't seem impressed and wonders whether Daya is any good, which Daya senses, and decides to demonstrate her power as the top 5 mages in the kingdom by causing a huge explosion nearby. The next day, Lug formally introduces himself to Daya, who tells him to skip the formality because she is just 3 years older than him. She then gives him a small crystal ball that can store mana and asks him to pour everything he has into it. Lug obeys and starts sending his mana into the crystal ball, and Daya is impressed because he seems to have a good mana capacity. However, she was impressed even before Lug showed what a beast he is. He has increased his mana capacity 1,000 times because of constant training, and he keeps pumping the small crystal ball with more mana than it can handle. Daya panics as she sees it crack and tells him to throw it as far away as he can. Lug immediately yeets the ball high up in the sky, saving his family mansion from getting nuked by mere seconds. The powerful explosion rattles everything for a few miles, and Daya is terrified of her student's abilities now. Just then, his parents come running there, and they ask what just happened. Daya tries covering up for Lug, saying that she should have been more careful, but it turns out Lug's parents are super proud of his magic. Cyan says that the spell was great, but it is more suited for war, but they need Lug to be an assassin. He asks Daya to teach him some spells that can help with that and leaves immediately. Daya can't believe how supportive they are because she would get her ass whooped for breaking even a glass. But then Lug asks her if she has more crystal balls like this. She refuses, telling him that they are incredibly valuable, and they don't hand them out to anyone. At night, Lug wonders how he can get more of the crystal balls because they will come in handy to kill the hero. Suddenly, Daya knocks at his door, and the next thing he knows is that they are sleeping together. Daya tells him that as his teacher, she can order him to do anything, and Lug decides to obey her command to avoid any drama. The next day, it is time to find Lug's attributes, and Daya asks him to pour just a little mana into a crystal ball. She checks for fire and water attributes, and Lug tests positive for both of them. Daya is really happy for him because people with 2 elements are rare, but he asks her to test for the other 2 elements as well. Daya's